Welcome to Riverbend Talon on WBGZ, brought to you by the Halpin Music Company.
And I'm Dennis, and
I'm Pigpen. I play him on this radio show.
You are not Pigpen.
Oh, well, that's good news.
Pigpen's late.
Yeah.
So we got to talk about him.
He had important business out of town.
Good thing we don't need him.
Yeah, well, I'm just doing my best to fill the role of the unprepared sidekick.
Right.
And I see that the print here is nice and big, but that's not going to help me.
No? You're talking about the print on the list of gigs that we announce each week here on Riverbend Talent, brought to you by the Halpin Music Company and by Mr. Matt Van Voorhis of Macias Insurance.
That's right.
And our guest tonight will be Flip the Frog, coming up in just a bit.
Pre-recorded guest.
Yes. So, what happens on Thursday nights, Alex? You should know by now.
Oh, it's the sea shanty sing-along at Morrison's.
That's right. So we got that going on Thursday nights right here in the Riverbend. We also have the open mic night at Germania Voorhis and the opening mic night at the Raging Cajun with Jamie Dunn and Yvonne McClendon.
I don't know if Jamie and Devon are who I've seen doing the dueling pianos type thing down there, but
yeah,
those guys are terrific.
Yeah, I bet it is.
I'll have to go check it out.
Well, let's just pretend they're terrific.
Hey, are you the same guys that I saw that one time all those years ago?
Could possibly be. Well, this show's off to a flying start with Alex in here.
Oh, yeah.
We appreciate that, Alex, sitting in for Pigpen. Across the line at Fast Eddie's tonight, Jason Garm's band at the Stagger Inn in Edwardsville, DJ Josh at the back bar up there, Mo Pleasure at the Lake House at Buffalo Park in Maryville, Jared Unfried, 7 p.m. at Deutz in Pontoon Beach tonight, and Riding Shotgun, the Prairie Inn in Dorsey.
Look at that. You have torn through Thursday.
I did.
That's a lot of stuff for a Thursday.
That is. That's just a Thursday night here in the Riverbend, and that's only the gigs I found because, I don't find them all.
See, to me, this is like Netflix. You turn Netflix on, and there's so many choices, you just sit there and you look at all the choices for an hour and you haven't watched anything.
I've done that many times. Just kill 20 minutes looking.
You have to do the old eeny, meeny, miny, mo, and just...
building your list.
Wherever you land, that's where you're going.
So the list is at cottonmouth.org. It's all there for you to click on and follow along. And we've got gigs going all the way into New Year's Eve. I was noticing that the New Year's Eve gigs are stacking up quickly. So you can get on there and prepare your New Year's Eve plans.
Yeah, and that's like the worst of the worst to me, because New Year's Eve is not the night that you want to go from place to place.
Well, me and Pigpen talked back around Thanksgiving, the Wednesday night before Thanksgiving, we now declare as pro night, right? All the pros go out.
Yeah, I'm not so sure.
Well, I am, because those guys are not planning on making Thanksgiving dinner the next day. That's pro. They're planning on showing up for Thanksgiving dinner, right?
Yeah, well, that's the best part.
Whereas the difference is on New Year's Eve, people that don't normally go out, right?
Yeah, that's true.
See what I'm getting
Nobody
at?
has a turkey to make on New Year's Day.
Nope, maybe some black-eyed peas, right?
Yeah, sure.
You can put those on before you go out.
Is that a New Year's thing?
I guess. Apparently it's lucky. So let's check out Friday night. Keith Shannon down at Morrison's Irish Pub. Graham Band at Chez, Marilyn's in Alton, and DJ Tommy's Karaoke Circus at Third Shoot in Alton.
Hard Rain.
Right.
At the Backroom at Bottle and Barrel.
Right. Remember November Rain by Guns N' Roses? Like, it starts raining and it scares everyone, and they jump over tables and fall into cakes.
Yeah, I remember that. Isn't that the one with the at the end?
Yeah, that's probably a lot of their songs, but it was a big deal, the video, and I never understood it. I wondered why rain was so terrifying.
Yeah, when I think November Rain, I'm putting a jacket on and trying to get inside because it's probably cold. All the stuff with the cakes, I was lost.
They did not look cold.
They didn't look cold.
No. But anyways. Let's see. Naked Soul, 7 p.m. and the Truckers, 8 p.m. at Fast Eddie's, Bon Air and Alton on Friday night. The Mad Baileys duo with Brad Hampton.
It says and Brad Hampton.
Yeah, it does say and Brad Hampton.
Is he doing a solo percussion thing?
Actually, what I seen was it said Mad Baileys duo, and then it said Jay Sabo and Brad Hampton. And I'm like, wait a minute. The duo isn't Brad Hampton. The duo is Miss Fisher, right?
Well, this is either a duo that's expanded to a quartet.
So I thought it was Karen Fisher and Jay Sabo for the Mad Baileys, and then Brad Hampton. But it said Jay. Maybe Brad took Karen Fisher's spot. You'll have to go down to Bossanova and figure it all out. I think it meant that Brad was playing drums down there. One of my favorite drummers to watch, though.
Oh yeah,
I love watching Brad, and he's probably over there at the National Blues Museum tonight.
Every Thursday, I saw something. They were getting ready to wind it down for the season, but those guys are busy every week.
Mm-hmm. Billy Hurst back at it Friday night at Baker's and Hale in Godfrey.
Check this out. Bonehead.
Right.
At the Pump House.
Yeah.
I haven't seen Bonehead for a while.
You know those guys, though.
Yeah, I know those guys.
Mm-hmm.
One of them's sweet on me, I think.
The one that's in the Grand Band?
No.
No?
Well, okay, 2 of them are sweet on me.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. I know more of those guys than I realized.
I thought one was sweet on your sister.
Oh, God, I don't even know about that.
You don't know. We're not going there.
No.
Let's go up to the Stagger Inn on Friday night. What are we going to see?
You skipped. Oh, there's too much. Robert Perry Band
Mm-hmm.
and Marcel Strong.
Right. So Robert Perry's doing the 5 to 8 and Marcel Strong the 9 o'clock on Friday night. And Pigpen's new favorite band name.
Oh, yeah, Pussycat and the Swallowtails.
Right. Doing the back bar in Edwardsville. Riding shotgun at Big Daddy's, which is like right in front of the back bar in Edwardsville.
The Skylark Brothers at 7:30 at the Moose in Edwardsville.
Poco is playing the Wiley Theater on Friday night. That is a Laurel Canyon band.
Is that legitimately Poco?
Mm-hmm.
I'll tell you something.
I'll tell you something about that little scene that you may not know that I just recently found out about. Did you know the comedian Phil Hartman was part of that whole Laurel Canyon scene?
I did not know that.
Now here's what surprised me. The logo for Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young.
Yeah.
He designed that.
Phil Hartman did.
Phil Hartman did.
What, just like, in his spare time?
Yeah, well, he was doing that kind of stuff in the early... Actually, he roadied for Jimi Hendrix.
Really?
Yeah.
This is all before Saturday Night Live and all that. It's way back. That's how he got his start?
Well, all those folks out in Laurel Canyon, Alex, as I've mentioned many, many times, are all connected. So,
well, that's
through the military and
the way things go. People start in humble places sometimes, and I did not know that about Phil Hartman.
I bring that up because Poco was part of that same scene. Right?
Well, we're going to have to get over there and shake them down for answers, I think.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so. What else is going on Friday night? Roaming Home, 7 to 10 at George's Local Brew in Jerseyville. Justice in the Experience down at Imperial Pub on Friday night. The Vault doing the Elks Club in Granite City. Doc Holliday, they're doing Doy's Village Inn both Friday and Saturday night.
That the weekend installments they do at
it
Doy's?
Is. And
I like that.
We have had a confirmation that is a great place to play if you're a band because those folks are there to listen to live music. And that doesn't always happen in all these places.
No, it doesn't.
Sometimes you're a jukebox, right?
Yeah, sometimes you're background music for dinner and things like that,
yeah.
which is fine, but...
Deutsch likes to get busy down there and have some fun with the band. So
yeah, I like that. They're serious about their live entertainment.
That's right. Double Tap, 8 o'clock at the Cabin at Judy Creek in Glen Carbon on Friday night, and our buddy Steve Scorfina's back at it over at the Church Bar in St. Peter's. Scorfina's Chrome and Steel returns to the Church Bar.
I tell you what, I'm
Peters.
seeing him pop up all over the place. He's pretty busy right now.
And he sent Pigpen a text. We tried to get him to just call in back when we had Terry Jones Rogers and Scott Nienhouse on recently.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
He was at rehearsal. He was rehearsing for one of these many shows that he has coming up.
We will be talking about Steve next week, though. Right? I believe next week is the Ozark Mountain Daredevils suit. Granda will be our guest next week.
I believe that is correct.
Mm-hmm.
The man with the info is
absent.
Conspicuously absent.
He's sitting out in the parking lot listening to the show, folks.
He probably is.
He didn't realize. He's like, wait a minute, the show started? Any minute he'll come busting in here going, I'm sorry, guys, I didn't know the show started.
He's probably locked out, pressed up against the window right now.
He is. So I say we go ahead and go through Saturday, and then we head off and listen to Flip the Frog and learn all about them.
All right, that sounds like a plan.
They're playing Little Corner Pub. Not Little Corner Pub, the Corner Pub in Highland.
Flip the Frog?
Yeah. But Saturday night down at Bottle and Barrel, Garbage and No Doubt Tribute night at the Backroom at Bottle and Barrel.
Tribute bands. That's always a mixed bag. It's either really good or you're really disappointed that they didn't quite get it done.
I seen some amazing photos from the Crosby, Stills, and Nash show over at the St. Charles Arena.
Those guys get it done.
I also seen some photos from the, I think it was Foreigner and Journey. They did a tribute recently. And I forget specifically who, but one of the drummers was just ecstatic about how big the crowd was. You know, that he felt like he finally got to play in an arena-type atmosphere. So that's cool, man, that people pile into St. Charles Arena for that tribute-type stuff and give guys like that an opportunity to experience something like that. And it's usually free, right? So
yeah, that's what
minus
they do.
The charge for parking, right?
Yeah, and, all that money that you save on the ticket, you can funnel into refreshments. It helps support the cause.
Right. Back to Saturday night, Paul Cruda down at Morrison's Irish Pub.
Darius Spangler.
He'll be doing the Old Bakery Brewery on Saturday.
Is that Sometimes Cabaret, 10 p.m. at the third shoot.
You ever check out Cabaret, Alex?
Not Sometimes Cabaret, but I'm familiar with the art form, if that's the way to say it.
I would say that's a good way to say it.
Is it? Okay, good. I'll make it.
Sometimes I like to eat soup.
Sometimes.
Let's see. Fast Eddie's, they have Naked Soul at 3 o'clock and the Truckers at 8 o'clock. Bon Air. The Sean and Mike Show, 7 p.m. at Baker's and Hale Saturday night. Gracia Harrison, said correctly for a change. Pigpen always blows that one. 5 to 8 at the Pump House, and then Beowulf at 9:30 at the Pump House. Beowulf's still going.
Those guys have been around as long as I can remember.
Were you in the band when we opened for them?
No, that was before.
I don't think you were out of high school when that happened.
Yeah, that's going back to the mid-'90s.
Yeah. Up at Granny's Rocker in Edwardsville.
I was still getting my quality education at that time.
Grand Band going to be up at Georgia's Local Brew on Saturday from 7 to 10. Scott Logan and Leslie Craig doing the Grafton Winery. They're also doing comedy night up there.
That's cool. You don't see enough comedy popping up around town. That's a tough thing to do.
Okay, well, how about the next one?
The legend, Billy Don Burns.
Have you ever heard of him?
Well, I can't say that I have. However,
I was hoping Pigpen would know who.
Can one person really be expected to know every legend? I mean, that's just not fair.
Yeah.
But Billy Don Burns, 7 to 11 at the Hog Pit. So whoever he is, he's got 4 hours of material.
It says the legend, Billy Don Burns. So, hey, we got a caller. Let's see who it is.
This ought to be good.
Hey, caller, you're on the air.
Hey, man, this show sounds cool.
Why are you running late, man? You're in the parking lot.
Late for what, man?
The show started, man.
Oh, is this the show I was supposed to be on? Yeah. Oh, man, I'll be there. I didn't know. Hey, man, next week is 33 on the needle. The week after that is Super Granda.
Okay.
Granda.
See, we needed the details.
I am on my way in.
Sure.
And I do know the legend Don.
Okay.
It's your daddy, baby. Maybe that's the wrong legend.
Yeah, that's Don the legend.
Yeah, okay, I got it wrong.
This
Sorry.
is the legend Billy Don Burns.
See, it was real bad reception. No, I don't know. Anyway, I'm sorry. I'm on my way. I'll be there. Yeah, bye-bye.
He couldn't stay quiet.
He didn't even tell us how far away he is. He'll be here,
Even when he's not here, he had to, I got to get on this segment. I can't sit here and be quiet.
I'm keeping your chair warm, buddy.
Oh, Big Ben. Running late. What else is going on Saturday? The Vault at the Foundry Public House in Edwardsville?
Yeah. Bacon.
Right.
9 p.m. at the Back Bar in Edwardsville.
Everybody needs some bacon.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Jared Unfried,
right.
6 p.m. at Big Daddy's in Edwardsville.
Mm-hmm. Mary J, 5 to 8, and the Wise Brothers, 9 o'clock at the Stagger Inn in Edwardsville.
Oh, the WPW Bob Evans Seminar.
That's right. And that's not the sausage, Bob Evans.
No?
No. That's,
man.
No.
Well.
That's the Bob Evans.
The Bob Evans.
The wrestler.
Not the other guy.
So that seminar is at 1, and then they're doing Christmas Chaos, 7 to 10, Collinsville VFW. Love the World Powerhouse Wrestlers. Check out them on Facebook.
They're great guys.
Doc Holliday Band, we have to say that because Pigpen beat up the judge last time, so we're trying to make up to him.
Yeah, well, we don't want any retribution coming our way, especially if Pigpen's not here.
Right.
See, if they're listening right now, they may be coming down to take it out on us.
I think that's probably where Pigpen is. He's down there, probably captured by him.
Well, we'll have to keep an eye out, see if there's a ransom note or something that comes in, but I can't believe that those guys would be silly enough to try to ransom Pigpen.
Yeah, I don't think anyone's going to pay for him.
Nobody's going to get any kind of cash.
No. So I mentioned Doc Holliday Band. They're doing Deutsch both nights. So that takes us back to Saturday. We're talking about, and Patty McDee's down in Granite City is having their Christmas party. They're getting it out of the way early.
Yeah, a lot of Christmas parties in the next few weeks.
Keem Turcotte doing the Christmas party at Patty McDee's from 8:30 to 11:30.
Mo Pleasure at 4 p.m. and Blue Marlin at 8 p.m. at the Lake House, Buffalo Park, Maryville.
All right. Acoustic Crush Duo, 6 p.m. at the Camp Station in Staunton.
Benbow City Shuffle, 3 p.m. Next band will follow at Rooster's Pub in Staunton.
That's exactly how it was listed. So I don't know if they're called the next band, but I think that's like a different band.
Yeah, that's a little confusing.
Yeah, they will follow Benbow City Shuffle.
Maybe they didn't have the money to hire TVDs, so they just got next band.
Well,
instead.
we keep talking about running out of band names. Maybe they're just not going to name their band.
We finally hit bottom.
Right.
There are no more.
There are no band names left. How about the Liston Brothers? They're doing the Christmas at the Pageant.
Christmas at
Saturday.
the Pageant.
So
not on Christmas. That's this Saturday.
There you go.
Those guys are terrific.
Yes, very much. All right, we have Flip the Frog. That's our guest tonight.
All right.
Now we know that next week we're going to have 33 on the needle, and then the week after that will be Soup Grand. So,
I have to write all that down.
Thanks to Pigpen, we now are squared away. And thanks to our sponsors, the Halpin Music Company and Mr. Matt Van Voorhis of Macias Insurance, we're able to bring you guests like Flip the Frog. And, man, we had a good time with Flip the Frog. So let's get right to it. Let's check out Flip the Frog next here on Riverbend Talent on the Big Z.
And now more Riverbend Talent.
With Dennis Laird and Pigpen.
I'm Dennis.
And I'm Pigpen.
And we are talking to some hard-working guys here. Flip the Frog.
Flip the Frog. Every week we hear about the Frog Flippers and where they're playing. I mean, there's not many weeks they don't make the trusty list with all the lots of gigs going on.
Oh, yeah.
And what, man, I don't know, it's probably been 6 months or more. I was walking downtown right outside Max Timeout, and I saw a guy I didn't know, but he was carrying a guitar amp, and that lets me know he's a musician, or a friend of a musician. And I stopped him. I said, "Hey, what band are you in?" And it happened to be Jody Grinder sitting right here, and you said, "Flip the Frog." And I said, "I know Flip the Frog."
You get around.
I hear, and you gave me your card, and it took a while because things spin out of control. But I'm happy that we finally got you in here. It's been a few months since we first met, but I'm happy we're finally in here. We're going to talk a little Flip the Frog.
Hey, we're happy to be here. Thanks for having us.
So Jody Grinder, bass and vocals.
Yep.
Ex-Marine.
Yeah.
There you go.
Thanks for your service.
Dennis is a Navy man himself.
Thanks for the ride.
Yeah, that's exactly what I did. I was amphibious. Boy, did we have fun with the Marines.
Oh, yeah.
I did my tour duty on the Grateful Dead tour, so wait a minute, that's not the same. I didn't do my country service there necessarily.
That's a different hazard in itself.
Right. I service the counterculture. Anyway, next to Jody, we've got Lynn Assar.
Yes.
And did I say that right? Assar?
Yeah.
There we go. Got it. Yeah. And Lynn, your guitar and some backing vocals.
A little bit, yeah.
And that name, your father was from where?
Persia.
Yeah. And now, how did your father come to live in America?
He saw a picture when he was 5 years old of the United States, and he fell in love with it, said that's where he wanted to go. So he won 2 scholarships. He won one to Germany and then one to the United States.
Wow.
He became a surgeon. Yeah.
So he won an academic scholarship to go from Persia to Germany, and then while in Germany won a second scholarship to go from there to America. Then once he got to America, became a surgeon. Now that's some talent. You want to talk about that's incredible, right there.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously,
he didn't have two pennies to rub together.
And I know kids sitting in McMansions that are crying, that my life isn't good enough. And, meanwhile, you got, it's amazing. That's some serious gumption right there. We'll call it.
Yeah, you know it. Yeah.
So, and your mom, where was she from?
She was from Germany.
Germany. So while in Germany, he met your mom?
Yeah, she was a scrub nurse.
So there you go.
Hey, what are you doing after?
What are you doing after work? I like your dad better every second.
Now, was music part of your childhood from your parents? Or
no, I started turning the volume knob up on. They had a little radio, and I guess I broke that volume knob several times, according to them. Cranking it up. It was rock and roll. It needed to be played loud. So it's always been in my blood.
So as a young child, you had it in you to hear it loud, but no music in the house necessarily.
Well, not necessarily.
like radios, but no one playing musical instruments in the house.
Yeah.
How about you, Jody? Your parents playing the instruments growing up?
Yeah, my mom used to sing a lot, played piano, and I started off, I think, playing the piano when I was a little kid.
Nice.
So,
yeah, I was back then. It was you needed 2 years of piano before you could play another instrument, sort of thing.
Right.
So my older sister, played piano, and I kind of think it was like my nemesis. The piano was so.
That was amazing.
Because I was always wanting to wanted to play the guitar.
I went through the same thing where I actually bought the first guitar out of Jody Hopper at Don Hopper's store. I was a little kid walking home from school and saw him hammering the sign in, and my mom had said, "Well, if you take 6 months of piano, And all I wanted was to get to that guitar.
Right.
I don't want to 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 3, 3. Yeah, I mean, it's fun and it gives you a good theory and a background in music, but I really just wanted to get a guitar in my hand and be a rocker. Like those guys who get the girls. I want to be one of those guys.
Yeah, it didn't, never worked out for me like that.
Not so much with the girls, but some of the other, what are the 3 things they say? Sex, drugs, and rock and roll. Mm-hmm. 4 of my favorite things. Sex, drugs, rock, and 4 of my anyway. But I was the same way, where it was like but they were smart to say go do the piano, because again the music theory, piano is one of the easiest instruments. It's linear and it's easy to understand the theory as opposed to a fretboard where you're skipping around a bit. But
and those usually don't get as loud as his electric guitar.
Right. Jerry Lee Lewis trying to make it loud. How hard can I hit it? Yeah. That's one of the things I loved about piano, though. In the end, like coming back, finally years later, circling back to it, I realized that it is a very percussive instrument.
Sure.
And as much as I like to play hand drums, it's like hand drums with notes, sort of.
Right.
Where you...
Right. Yeah.
you can start just banging out rhythms, and I wish I would have taken it more serious back then and not really just rushed through it. But
looking at it now, when you come across someone that is truly gifted with the instrument, you're like, oh man, if I would have just,
right? 'Cause you can make a lot of when all 10 fingers have control over a note, you can make a lot of sound come out of it.
Oh yeah, a lot of
a
sound.
gizmo.
But it's never too late to pick it back up.
I do it all the time. I still do it. I just like every other instrument.
A good buddy of mine, he's how old is he? 55 now. He just started taking piano lessons. He swore he's going to take piano lessons, and
55.
He's been doing it for several months, and he by next summer he's going to sit in with Flip the Frog. That's his goal.
Nice.
Yep.
That that's beautiful.
Yeah, we're ready for it.
And don't you love to see somebody pick up someone who's never played an instrument, maybe pick up one and
oh yeah,
they play it, because it doesn't matter how good you get.
Right.
You can't ever take that. You can't ever take that away from him either. That experience and the knowledge and just the enjoyment.
I'm looking to get him hooked on it.
It's easy to get someone hooked too, and I got my wife hooked, showing her how to thump out some root notes on a bass. And she's hooked. She loves it. Now she takes real bass lessons because I can't even teach her anything. She's gone beyond what I could teach her, and she's been playing for a few years now. But I remember the golden moment for me was in our studio behind her house one night. She stopped. She goes, I just realized when you're out here, you're not just hiding from me and the kids. You're hiding from work and bills and cleaning the toilet. She's like, I don't think about nothing when I'm playing. I'm like,
you just escape.
Yeah, you escape. Awesome. Yeah, exactly. Everything else melts away, man.
And folks who don't do that, they don't realize how important that is, because that is your escape and your release.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just. You just feel good. The world goes away when you're playing music.
The problems go away unless you're playing the blues.
Right.
Right. Then they get worse somehow.
I tell folks, you can love this. I tell folks all the time, do you know how many people would love to do what we do?
Yeah.
Everybody who can't.
Yeah.
Right. Everybody who can't. Exactly. Yeah. Well, I tell everybody who does play or tries to play, when they'll ask me when they're learning, am I doing it right? One question, are you having a good time? Yeah, then you're doing it right. It doesn't matter if the notes are right. You're playing what we call the passing notes. Those are the notes in between that don't really go to that scale, but it doesn't matter. It gets better. It does. Yeah, as long as you got a smile on your face and you're having a good time, that's all that counts, really, to me. Yep. So, it sounds like Flip the Frog has a good time when they play, right?
Oh, yeah.
We
Very
have
good
a good
time.
We don't get to see enough boobs, but that's an old story.
Who does? No, I mean, seriously, who does? Even Larry Flint was like, I didn't see enough.
So Flip the Frog, though, 4 years with this lineup, right?
Yeah.
Roughly.
Yeah.
And you guys had a band before that as well. And it's interesting, you kind of touched on a little bit with what Pigpen was saying there. You guys kind of reformatted the whole thing and then went back at it with Flip the Frog once.
You were called Killer Charisma.
Right.
And like what he said, it was an attitude change.
Yeah, it was a change in the music. We didn't really feel that the music set our personalities. It was a little bit too hard, hard-nosed music. It was too rough. The music was good. We had the same musicians. We were still doing it, very well. But I just don't think the songs that we picked and that we played were crowd favorites or crowd pleasers.
Right.
So when we took on to this adventure here, we decided we were going to play all upbeat, happy stuff and things to make the girls dance and the guys buy drinks.
Right. Make the fans forget about their day job as opposed to reminding them about their day job.
Exactly.
That's probably the truest statement we've heard about that specific situation, because it really did. A lot of the songs, and though they were popular, good songs, they just were not upbeat, positive songs.
And even sometimes, like he said, if it reminds you of work, even if it is a little upbeat, I don't want to go here working 9 to 5 when I get off work. I want to hear take this job and shove it.
Sure.
I don't know. I'm just saying words now. I'm sorry. Let's get back to the real conversation. I think that's a great idea, though. You didn't change musicians. You just said let's take a new attitude, because when you do go out and see a band, if it's a happy, positive feel. You start loosening up, you start dancing, you start jiving, having a good time. Where, you know, like I say, if you hit me with some hard edge stuff, well, suddenly I'm, you know.
Yeah, you definitely see an attitude change in the crowd. It makes it nice now to see the folks having a good time and the dance floor full, and you know, the owners of the establishment are happy. It's just a nice time. It's more fun.
Killer Charisma, not so much a dance band.
No, not a lot of dance songs. There were a few. I mean, we tried to do Uptown Funk. It came out okay for the 3 players that were playing it, but it just never really did what it did. We never had that vibe. Right. You know, and we didn't have a lot of followers after 3 years, I guess it was.
Yeah, we kind of struggled with that.
Yeah, we struggled getting a following, a crowd to come and see us, and when we changed everything to more upbeat, you know, happy stuff, it took off for us. So
yeah, we've been blessed. We've been truly blessed. I mean,
and so is that where the name Flip the Frog come from? You guys flipped?
No, kind of like Jody Grinder. It's a fictional character. Well, Flip the Frog is a 1930s cartoon.
Oh,
so the guy who helped create Mickey Mouse left Walt Disney and UBI Works, went over to created his own studio. Was sponsored by some wealthy folks. I can't remember who it was off the top of my head, but anyway, created Flip the Frog and a couple of other characters, and there's a whole bunch of Flip the Frog cartoons on YouTube.
Nice. I did not know that. Yeah. So there you go. Flip the Frog. There's like a Jim Dandy on us there. An old cartoon. Yeah. And what about Jody Grinder? Where's that one from?
That's a military reference.
A military reference. So that's a Marines thing going on there.
Just military in general. So Jody Grinder was the guy back in the 40s, fictional character that when the men were going off to war, he's the one that stayed behind, and while you were gone, he stole your whiskey, your women, and your Cadillacs.
I like Jody Grinder. I could have been in the military after all. I didn't know.
Could have been there.
I didn't know there was an option for that part.
Whenever you hear the guys marching and the drill instructors hollering, and then they repeat it and they're marching, those are called Jody calls. They're all cadences. There's books about them now.
Wow.
Nice. So yeah, just a whole military thing.
Nice. I did not know about Jody Grinder, and now I want to. I want to write a whole concept album about Jody Grinder. I know 2 sentences about it, but I'm very interested. sounds like a part here.
Yeah. So, and you use the name Jody because both you guys' name is Lynn, so it got confusing.
Right. And, it was kind of weird because people would just come up to me as we were doing this. We were getting started, and they would just say, "Hey, Jody." I'm like, "Okay, there it is."
Yeah.
Kept it.
Yeah.
Nice.
Good.
So, along with your flipping, your frog flipping going on there from Killer Charisma to the Flip the Frog being more danceable and happy music, you're also much more interactive with your crowd now.
Yeah.
Well, we try to be. Yeah, we definitely try to be. We do some crowd participation songs where we have the girls, a girl or a group of girls, we don't care, whoever wants to, come up and sing with the band. And then we'll try to have the guys, one or multiple, whoever wants to come up and sing with the band. We've made the mistake of doing that at a couple of places where they wanted to take over your microphones because they start drinking a little heavy. They I can sing it better than Jody, so they want to come up and grab the mic. But usually we have a good time. We tell a lot of jokes. Most of them are about Lynn. They are.
So let me just guess though. When you have the singing competitions and you have the guys come up and the girls come, the girls win.
The girls always win. You're kidding me?
You're a red-blooded American.
That's right. That's absolutely right.
The girls win, and if the girls win, maybe the boys win later.
That's right. That's exactly right. If they're having fun, everybody's having fun.
Exactly.
Well, that's cool, and that helping keep the crowd engaged in your show. That's gotta help the just the vibe of the whole play, whoever it is you're playing.
You know, and it makes us play better. Yeah. Because people are liking it, and you guys being musicians, when they're into it, you're into it a heck of a lot more.
Mm-hmm. The 2 things that can really help a performance to me is the sound of the stage. Mm-hmm. And the crowd, the vibe of the crowd. If you've got a really killer monitor sound and a good crowd, only I can mess this up.
Sure. And we do. I'll stop a song and say, "Did you hear Lynn mess that one up?" They're like, "No." Well, never mind.
Well, I did. That's good. Good stuff there. So you guys
That usually leads to a drink. Everybody has to drink after that.
Everybody's got to do a holler to swallow with Flip the Frog.
I can see what you mean about the jokes are always about Lynn here. I'm feeling like piling on, Lynn. Sorry.
I'll tell jokes about him, and the crowd feels sorry for him. They're like, "Oh, y'all, poor Lynn." Area, so it works out to his benefit anyway.
getting a lot of sympathy at the end of the night.
Yes. You keep knocking the camera off there, man. I don't know what you're doing.
I'm not anywhere near it. It's falling all on its own there.
I don't think the cameraman set it up right.
We're going to blame A Honky for that one.
Well, he'll have
Alex Honky.
He'll have to do the editing. So
not just any honky, A Honky. All right. Sorry about that. But little technical difficulties there. All you YouTube, the people on radio are like, "What?" Yeah. Everyone watching YouTube's like, "What happened to the camera?" Lynn taking the butt of the jokes. What about Jim? You throw some jokes his way because we're missing Jim Waller. We didn't mention Jim yet, did we? Yeah. Jim Waller is the drummer. It's a Flip the Frog is a 3-piece.
Yeah.
Power trio. We're going to call it.
Power trio. Yeah.
So Jody Grinder, bass and vocals. Lynn Assar, guitar with some backup vocals, and MIA is Jim Waller on drums.
Right.
Jim didn't come down because me and him got into it one time.
Right.
Yeah. He was singing with Molly Hatchet. That's another story. That's not true. Jim didn't sing for Molly Hatchet.
He sang with Prince. No.
He was on tour with Prince, and it got cut short. So.
Right. Look, Prince is an okay guitar player and an okay singer, but a heck of a basketball player. He can dunk like nobody's midnight. Looks good in a purple blouse too. Yeah. All right, let's move on from Prince. I have a very fond affinity for Prince. Anyway, oh Prince. Anyway, let's get back. What are we talking about, Dennis? Bring me in.
We were going to talk about Lynn's guitar rig. What do you play?
I use a Music Band Axis, the EVH Axis. I've had 2 EVH signature series that were stolen from me. So they kind of just continued the...
They weren't stolen.
Yes,
his dad got tired of that mess and they disappeared.
So
he did some surgery on it.
Yeah. So I use that. I've got a couple different amps. I've been using an orange 35-watt Crush, and we just mic it. It's a little easier at the end of the night.
Yeah. I was going to say the EVH is the big 212.
Right. I've got the combo, the first one, and that thing gains weight by the end of the night.
I've got one of those two big old white cabinets that just weighs 5,000 tons. It seems like at the end of the night.
By the end of the night, it's 3 tons, and you're just like, Jesus.
This was so much easier to get in this building than it is to get out.
Exactly.
But they sound good.
They're amazing.
Tubes get nice and warm, and
very nice. Very nice.
Now, if I remember right, the early ones were Fender, maybe, and then they went to Peavey. Is that right?
They were Peavey, and then he went to Fender.
Peavey and went to Fender. See, I've got the Peavey one.
I do too.
I've got the Peavey one. So there you go. I thought I had it backwards in my head. I thought I got the sloppy seconds. I got the original. Look at that. That never happens. Right. Usually I'm like sloppy thirds or fourths by the time I get my hands on something.
They're not cheap. That's by no means. Good.
No, they're solid. They sound good. Heavy.
I think that's the Peavey thing.
Yeah, if they could package that in half the weight and half the side, put 112 in it. I don't need the second one.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
But give me all that sound you got coming out of it.
No doubt. So I've just been using an orange 35-watt Crush. We just mic it. It's a little easier.
And when you mic it to a PA, it doesn't matter. The 112, 212, 100 watts. Is really a 100-watt amp. What I found in the small venues, you can't open it up enough to get the tubes warm enough.
Right.
Where really the smaller amps, you can really warm the tubes up better on them and get a deeper, richer tone coming out of them. So,
I've been running straight through. I've got a few pedals, but I'm looking more into this new one called the Headrush 11. Have you guys seen that?
I do not know the Headrush, but I get Headrushes a lot, so I'm into it.
It's a pretty cool thing. A little pricey, but I'm just checking it out.
Who's the maker of that?
I do.
Can't recall. That's fine. I'll make a note and look it up myself. Head Rush.
Yeah, remember that?
Later, I'm going to read this and go, Head Rush. What was that about?
Yeah, well, it's like the electronic the electronic geeks are finally figuring it out.
Yeah.
And they're really getting close with it. I mean, really, really close. This thing is being used with a lot of pros and a lot of recordings and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And it's got some features that I'm just still kind of playing around with the idea.
And what kind of act you playing?
That's the Music Man action.
Yeah.
Music Man, okay.
So I'm assuming you're a Van Halen fan.
Oh, huge. Eddie was a big influence on me. Speaking of, when I was a kid, Ace Frehley was a huge influence on me when I was like 10 years old. They came to town, right? At the Checker Dome. So I was hell or high water. I was going to this freaking concert.
Nice.
So I told my parents, and we got tickets, and I would have walked. And they know it. I think they know it. So we went to this concert. Well, years later, Halen comes rolling through, and me and a group of guys were going to go check out Eddie, first time coming through. And I'll never forget, it was at the dinner table, and I said, Gene Simmons of Kiss discovered this guy, this guitar player. He's phenomenal. And my dad goes, that Kiss concert. He goes, I couldn't hear a patient's heartbeat for 3 days after that. So,
sorry, he's flatlining. We're gonna go call this one at 4:35.
Exactly.
A lot of people got buried that week. It was not good.
It's a hell of a show, though. Yeah.
So, speaking of Eddie Van Halen, if you want, I can hook you up with his phone number.
He's not kidding about that, actually. He worked over at Chez for a while, and he gathered a bunch of phone numbers.
Oh, cool.
So I didn't believe him one night. We're sitting over at his house, and he's like, I got Eddie Van Halen's phone number.
I had Alex's number, too, and I was going to call Alex and go, Eddie gave me your number, we should jam. And I was going to call Eddie and go, Alex gave me your number. I was going to try and get Van Halen back together with me, but that was my big plan.
He did call Eddie, though, and Eddie did answer the phone, and he about dropped the phone.
I was not expecting him to really answer. I thought for sure it'd be voicemail or something.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Eddie didn't think so.
Yeah, who's this?
He didn't like me much.
Yeah.
And needless to say, I did not get Van Halen back together.
That's so
I heard Wolfgang tell a story recently that him and his dad, I guess Tool was playing a show with them or something, or they were at a Tool concert, and a guy walks up to Eddie Van Halen and he says, "Hey, will you take my picture in front of this Tool sign?" He didn't even know it was Eddie Van Halen taking his picture.
Great. That's great. You know what? If I met Eddie, I'd want to do that. Just next time I meet anyone famous, I'm going to do that. Hey, will you take my picture next to this microphone?
Yeah.
Make it something very mundane. Oh, that's good stuff. So so Van Halen a big influence. What about you, Jody? Who really tickled your fancy when you were growing up?
Oh, I was pretty much Sammy Hagar.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah,
there you go.
I like Sammy. Yeah.
So wait a minute.
Hagar.
they were really good together.
No, wait a minute now. Lynn, David Lee Roth, or Sammy Hagar?
Oh boy, being a guitar head, it was more just guitar. Listen to guitar,
I just wanted to know if there's a battle between you guys going on.
No.
See, here's the thing, though.
Fair Warning was an amazing album, I thought.
Yeah.
Close to Van Halen 1. Those two albums are wow.
If I had to pick between the two, and not for playing or anybody, David Lee Roth is just a jerk.
Yeah.
So Sammy's cool. He always has been. That's just how it is.
There's a lot of YouTube videos about both sides of that.
Oh, sure. Well, yeah, that's for sure.
Sinking your teeth into Van Halen 1, at the time was just like, there was nobody like that.
Yeah.
They tore it up. They were on top. And then, when Sammy hit, guitar-wise, tuned down for David Lee Roth, standard for Sammy, They both had good runs.
I think that's the best answer. They're both good at what they did.
Yeah. Two different flavors of the same cake, basically. Yeah.
Eddie worked his tail off through all of it. I really believe so.
Yeah. And the whole time Valerie's coming out, Eddie, are you coming inside tonight? You're going to hang out in the studio.
I think that was Alex.
To my wife.
Is she? Well, that's just what I've heard, brother. It's just what I've heard.
Yeah, I've heard that too.
Yeah. No, Mitch Hepburg was living in his. The way I ended up getting his phone number is Mitch Hepburg was living out in his studio, and that's the story is that they'd be hanging, and Valerie would come out. Eddie, come inside. I don't know if it's true or not. Just fake news. Fake. That's what I heard. Though, is that true? It's true. It's true. Was that true? She's related to your wife?
Oh, I had no idea.
No,
They're all related somehow.
Yeah, I'm like, suddenly I'm like, wow, I'm talking smack on his family. I mean, I'm doing horrible impersonations, and it's like his sister-in-law. He's going to be at Thanksgiving going, boy, this radio guy's letting you have it.
You don't want to hear that.
Next thing, Valerie's going to be calling me. Eddie gave me her number. I got it off the caller ID 5 years ago. I don't know.
I'm for sure not going to get mad at you. That's what you did to the last guy.
I want to apologize to the judge from WPW. It was weeks and weeks ago when it happened, but I am so sorry.
Yeah, so for the rest of the folks that are trying to figure that one out, so Flip the Frog was scheduled to record this interview after the WPW was here, and Pigpen and the judge ended up in a brawl that ended up on the sidewalk in front of Flip the Frog, and then the judge hit the concrete. Accidentally, but
I did not mean. Look, I just wanted him out.
Right.
I just wanted him out the door. He didn't go peaceably. I did feel bad when he hit the concrete, though. I did not. I'm not a violent person. I'm sorry.
So that's when I told Lynn, watch your mouth.
And you better watch your mouth, buddy. Me and you in a square circle. I don't know.
Do we have ladies matches?
Do they have ladies matches?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
They were talking about.
That's the only way he'd get in there.
They were talking about a woman's three-way that's going to happen at the. They couldn't talk enough about the woman's three-way for me.
Yeah, he hasn't been beat up by a girl for a couple days.
Yeah.
You guys got any ice?
I haven't been beat up by a girl since last time I had an extra 20 to pay him to smack me around. I'm sorry. All right.
Hey, so you guys have this old-fashioned thing called a website, flipthefrogband.com, and I want to commend you for keeping it updated, it's a great place for fans to go and find out, because you guys are busy every weekend. It seemed like you got a nice little calendar there. You can find out about their flipping shows. You can find them out. They're flipping photos.
Nice.
Everything's flipping something.
Well, that's
there, right.
That's flipping fancy, isn't it?
Flipping music.
That's right. Flipping great.
So yeah.
What I like, though, like you said, great job on updating the website, because so many people have moved to just the Facebook and Instagram, and a lot of them it's hard to keep track in chronological order of who's playing where, when, because they just come up. This guy's playing this date. That we like the calendars where you can go look at it. It makes it easy for us to promote the gigs.
Yeah. Sure. And folks can sign up for our mailing list, and I try to send out to the email list where we're at for the week or 2 weeks ahead of time.
That's flipping great.
I mean, something we've never done before, and when we started doing it, it just seemed to help.
Yeah.
It just made things that much better for us.
Now, you guys do the other social media as well, right? You got a Facebook.
Yeah, in Facebook's defense, I'm on it every day, and I do. We have a high response rate with messages. If you wanted to book us through that, I try to keep it up. Also, if we have a gig, usually by Tuesday, prior to that weekend, you can. We have some pretty cool little ads that I put together.
Yeah, all video ads. They
nice.
come out. They come out real nice. And then we do our own little corny videos we put on there too.
Right.
Number 4 combo style. And those guys are pretty crazy with their ads too. I don't know if you know those guys.
Yeah,
they're wacky. I like wackiness.
Sure.
Don't take yourself too serious, or I'm going to start not taking you serious at all.
But those ads are always at the top of the Facebook pages, whether it be the fan club, which I kind of got pulled into that. That was a buddy of Lenny's.
Oh yeah.
Got pulled into that. She decided.
Thanks, Shannon.
She wanted a Facebook page.
Nice.
And then she started and she just dropped the ball, man.
Hey, we had our own fan club and we didn't even have to start it.
Nice.
Right, somebody else started. Wow.
Right, but
Thanks, Shannon.
yeah.
Well, since you're apologizing for saying in Facebook's defense, you seem like you must be friends with Facebook. Why is Facebook always talking bad about me? If you're friends with Facebook, you don't know. Okay.
I don't know.
Well, that's for another show.
Okay.
That's time we'll get to know each other better. Then you can tell me.
Marcus called me and he gave me the scoop on you.
Mark Zuckerberg. Listen,
He's got data.
I'm gonna Mark Zuckerberg.
He's got data.
I'm gonna Mark Zuckerberg this whole situation because any guy who's ever done anything worth talking about was just trying to show up some piece of tail that wouldn't give him any. We call that Mark Zuckerberg in the situation.
That's funny.
So they got a guarantee to their band. Do you know that?
What's the guarantee?
Guaranteed to get you dancing and put a smile on your face.
Or you get to flip the frog?
Right. Well, I don't know what happens if they
You
don't.
guys flip the guitar player.
It never stops, man.
Hey, that's rule number one. Anything that ever goes wrong is Lynn's fault. We mess up a song, it's Lynn's fault. We're late setting up, it's Lynn's fault. There's an earthquake in China, Lynn's fault. Doesn't matter. Girls having a bad hair day,
Lynn's fault. Has there ever been a time, Lynn, when you were supposed to collect the money and somehow the money didn't come? Was that your fault too? Like, it just went all in your pocket? You're like, I don't know, everything's my fault anyway. We didn't get paid.
No, but there have been times when I miscounted.
not in our favor.
Not in our favor at all. Yeah.
Right.
I'm like, what the hell?
We've been overpaid before, and we've given the money back. We say, hey, this is what we're
right.
But underpaid a couple of times on accident. We never go.
I bet with that EVH a few times you've been like, I'll pay someone half my money to carry my amp to my car. Right? Yeah. Well, man, it sounds like you guys are a really fun band. I can't wait. I have to get out and see it. We talk about you all the time. You're one of the band. It took like how long did it take us to see Number 4 Combo?
Yeah.
The Twist and Skylark brothers. We talked about them for 2 years before I got to see them.
They're the working bands. These guys are every weekend somewhere you can catch you guys just about. And you have regular jobs as well during the week, I assume, right? So, I mean...
No, he just likes that close.
I wear a suit and tie to, the unemployment office or something.
to impress us.
My office is right down here in the old bank building downtown.
Oh, okay.
Oh, nice.
So I have my own office down there. I'm actually a financial advisor.
I got $12.50. What should I do with it?
I will tell you, you can buy one share of my favorite stock for $12.50. Well, you'll have to put a quarter to it. It's $12.73.
Oh. It's already went up.
3 cents.
It's went up since he told you about
It's a scam. It's a ride to McDonald's drive-through.
All I'm going to say, people think you often hear people think that like poor people are dumb, and I want to, in their defense, I want to say poor people are smart. They're always doing math. Because I'm poor, and it's like I got $8. It's got to last 2 days. I need gas, and I'm hungry, and that leaves me. Okay, broke. I mean, the math always ends up the same. It's always the same, but I'm doing math a lot. So I'm just saying, I don't know where I'm going with this. So I think I'm just talking at this point. I'm sorry. All right, Flip the Frog. So people want to get a hold of you. We know your website once again is what?
FlipTheFrogBand.com.
FlipTheFrogBand.com. If they want to catch you on Facebook, they just check out Flip the Frog in Facebook.
Yep.
I would imagine that shows up for you guys in Google even, right? If you just Google Flip the Frog, right?
Well, the first thing is this guy who invented a catapult for frogs. Bing! It's the frog.
I'll tell you what.
It's the frogapult.
The best logo we have ever had. I mean, we get more people recognize that frog.
Yeah.
With the glass in his hand.
Yeah,
with the drunken frog. Oh, yeah.
And before they knew any of us. But it has started to come around lately. I'll tell you this much. We had Halloween last week. We were a little bit late getting home, but we got the candy out.
That was Lynn's fault.
It was Lynn's fault, yeah. That's rule number one.
Nice. Good call.
We had 3 trick-or-treaters.
Also Lynn's fault that the rest didn't show up.
No, that's a good thing. I got candy. But the second little kid that came to the door was with her mom, and she says, "Hey, aren't you the Flip the Frog guy?" I'm like, "You didn't take your candy."
Nice.
Yes, I am.
Excellent logo, then.
Oh, yeah, logo is everything.
And what is the name of the frog on the logo? Have you given him a name?
It's Flip.
Yes, it's Flip. So me and Flip and the bear that played in the Chuck E. Cheese band were partying one night.
Okay.
No, I'll finish that joke before the next time we see each other.
That could be a good one.
Right, I don't know where I'm going with it, but I will have it. I will have the other half of that joke next time we meet.
All right.
And now, the rest of the joke. All right.
Well, next time I'll bring in some shirts for you guys.
Nice. I will wear that on the air.
Yeah.
I have 2 band shirts, so I'm in a 3-band rotation. If you bring me a
He
third.
wears band shirts.
I just,
I have this.
just
I
before
have
we-
to have V-necks because I always feel like a midget strangling me.
Sure.
Or nothing against the midget guys out there. I always feel like an old
He's
weak
kind of a
man is
diva,
strangling me.
you know, with his shirts. He's a little diva. But
Deeper to V to Gary B. No, I don't know.
Just next time, just shoot him the size. And
Oh, okay.
I'll bring in a couple for you guys.
that'd be awesome.
There we go. So everybody knows how to get a hold of Flip the Frog, whether you want to try and book them or whether you just want to find out where they're playing to go see them. You check out their Facebook page, check out the web page, and check out Flip the Frog, everybody.
Yeah,
Thank you.
flipthefrogband.com. Also, the Facebook page. And thanks once again, guys, for coming in and putting up with Pigpen.
That was pretty flipping nice of you.
We're having a flipping awesome time.
And you can probably catch these guys just about any weekend around town, right?
Something tells me either the segment before this or the segment after this, we told people where they were playing.
Probably.
Probably.
I
hope so.
And our website will have it all listed there too, cottonmouth.org. So
We thank you guys for helping promote us. Man.
yeah,
We really appreciate
well,
that.
we got to thank Halpin Music, which, by the way, Lynn is an instructor at Halpin Music.
Yeah, teach little kids. How to
Awesome,
rock
man.
and roll, man.
That Kids Rock program is so awesome. Thanks for being a part of that because that's the next generation of musicians we're all going to be listening to.
Mm-hmm.
We want them good. Teach them right.
And our other sponsor, Mr. Matt Van Voorhis of Macias Insurance. He's been with us for a couple of years now.
Who I think he actually was in Kids Rock this year because he's only like 7 or no. Okay, that's
He might have been in Killer Charisma. I don't know.
he might. He was definitely in Stubblefield. So if you have him sell you insurance, tell him to bring a guitar and he'll play for you too.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I'll buy the insurance if you play me a song. Sorry, Matt. All right, so
Yeah,
there
you
we
did
go.
it again. All right. So this is Flip the Frog we've been talking to, flipthefrogband.com. And
We got Jody Grinder and Lynn Assar.
that's right. Thanks, guys, for coming in.
Thanks a bunch.
Thanks so much, guys.
was
We'll
fun.
be back with more.
And now more Riverbend talent.
With Dennis Laird and Pig Pen.
And we are back, aren't we?
Man, Alex, you sound just like Pigpen.
This is my best Pigpen impersonation.
You're doing a great job, Alex.
Was I late?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I didn't even know.
Yep, show's over. We'll talk to you guys next week with our guest 33 on the Needle. Don't forget to check out Mondin down at 10 Pen Sunday night, Anthony Nanny and Company at 2 p.m. and Hollywood 5 at 7 p.m. at Fast Eddie's on Sunday. Open mic every Sunday at the Stagger Inn and Wednesday night. Big Wheel. Did you have one of those, Pigpen?
I did.
All right, 5 p.m. at the Back Bar in Edwardsville on Sunday. The Skylark Brothers, who are playing the Grand Theater for New Year's Eve, I heard.
Oh my gosh, nice.
Yeah.
Oh
4 p.m.
man, no, it's not even open.
I don't know. Well, we're going to get it open. 4 p.m. at the Lake House at Buffalo Park in Maryville. That's Skylark Brothers. Scott and Michelle doing Doy's Village Inn on Sunday at 2. Mo Pleasure down at Patrick's in Granite City at 4. Borderline 2 to 6 at the Grafton Winery. Steve Scorfina's Blues 70th Birthday Bash, 4 to 7 at the National Blues Museum.
Nice, good
on
for
Sunday.
Steve.
Yeah. Happy birthday, Steve.
Happy birthday, Steve. We're gonna have you in real soon, man.
Yeah. And then open mic every Monday night down there at the Bottle and Barrel in the front part, right?
With the Extraordinary Band.
Hill Williams will be at Chez, Maryland's this Monday, and Trenton Nanny will be at Fast Eddie's on Monday, and that does it. We got to end it on a sour note, though, Pigpen.
Yeah, very sad. It's always sad when we lose anyone in our community, especially to the musicians when we lose a great musician. And Bud Summers passed away, so we're gonna miss Bud. Gonna miss his music, and luckily he left us lots of CDs that'll live on.
He did. He's got all kinds of recordings and an amazing website as well.
Yeah.
And we've got some interviews we did with Bud. One recently, beginning of the year, right?
Yeah.
Bud in, right?
Yeah.
Playing down Jacoby's.
And you know, if he passed this past week, and if we hadn't already been booked solid through the end of the year, we would have replayed that. But maybe we'll do that right at the beginning of next year as a memory. Yeah. Thanks so much to the guys from Flip the Frog, man.
Yeah.
That was a lot of fun with those guys.
And our condolences out to Bud Summers' family. And
absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
He'll be missed. A lot of musicians around town got to spend some time with Bud, and he was always giving of his time. And, he was one of those guys you could count on at a benefit, right?
Yeah. And just a downright nice guy.
Mm-hmm. So, definitely.
Gonna be missed.
So that does it for, thanks for working so hard this week, Pigpen.
Yeah, I feel like I was only here for like 5 minutes.
Yeah, if we wouldn't have went over, you wouldn't have even have been on.
Thanks, man. I thought you was going to wait for me.
Well, that's...
Because
me and Alex knew as soon as we started going through the gigs, you couldn't sit there and be quiet. You'd have to call in.
A bunch of listeners.
You're like, I'm supposed to be on air. I got to call. They're going to do this without me.
Listen,
and we did.
I put out a tweet saying I was going to be late, and all the listeners tweeted back saying we're all going to just wait in silence for you. So I don't know.
That's not the tweet. That's not the tweet I said. I seen one that said, "Holy cow! I've got my medical marijuana card."
That was the tweet that I sent today.
I seen.
So, hey, I was late for good reason.
All right. Well,
medical reasons.
It's over, Pigpen. You missed the show.
That's all right.
And you're just in time to remind us I was wrong about our guest next week.
Yeah, next week is going to be 33 on the Needle, talking about their show coming up with Kilvarez, Space Trucker, and another one. I'm sorry, I got blanking out. And Justin Lovell's going to stop by because that show's at Bottle and Barrel. So he's going to talk to us about what's going on down there and with Lighthouse. So we're going to have kind of a doubleheader next week. Justin Lovell and the guys from 33 on the Needle. And then the week after that, Soup Granda.
Soup is on.
It's actually Granda.
Right.
Rhymes with panda. He corrected me in the middle of the interview.
Yeah. He did me too when I interviewed him. It's just so much funner to say Granda. And I mean, by now, we messed up all the guest name anyway. So if we were to get that right, it would just be, we'd have to go back and mess it up.
You know what he did, though? He's such a nice guy. He sent me a package with 5 or 6 CDs, a couple of Soup and the Sandwiches, an Ambassadors CD featuring him and Steve Scorfina, and then one of the Garbanzo
I had to go
CDs.
Steal all his stuff last time he was on with me.
He's got this thing called the Music Mule, and he just sent me a package from the Music Mule with a bunch of CDs and a nice guy. We'll share that music. We'll both have it.
I'm sure you sent him a care package too.
It's medicine, man.
Oh well.
No, I didn't send no.
I never got my purple care package, so I don't talk about it. But.
Purple.
Okay, so that's it. That's another Riverbend talent. Pigpen, outstanding job this week.
Thanks to Alex. Big thanks to Alex Honky for filling my spot. The seat was nice and warm when I got here.
Get out there and support local music and art. Thanks once again to Halpin Music Company. And by the way, check this out. You know, if you take lessons there, you can just rent a guitar. You don't even need one.
Check that out.
Yeah.
So if your excuse up to now has been the reason I don't learn guitar is because I don't own one,
and you don't want to invest the money because you may not play it.
Right, you're not sure if you're going to stick with it, so go rent one for a month and try it out, man.
That'd be really cool, too, because, you could help out our sponsor, Halpin Music. So.
Well, and the other cool thing that some people don't realize about renting a guitar is that you could rent one for a month and then rent a different one for another month. Try out a few guitars before you make...
Pigpen, just because you're late doesn't mean we can keep going with this show. We gotta go.
Clark Howard's getting so upset right now.
All right, we'll talk to you next week. Get out there and support local music and art, everybody.